We're back, guys.
Yes, we are.
All right, guys. Now, you're probably wondering where we've been. We've been here.
Never left.
Doing our thing.
Never left.
Back to the fucking
Making
scheduled
money.
programming.
Back to scheduled program.
Let them know where we've been at. Let them know.
Been sightseeing. Went to New York. Went to the Big Apple. Ain't see it though. Ain't see no apple out there.
Fucking stupid or what, brother? All right, boys. So, obviously we were supposed to release the episode last week, but we had a little trip to go to. You know what I'm saying? Like, had to travel.
Money making moves. Nothing crazy.
Sure, you know what I'm saying?
Had to go network out in the big city. And it was a great time for sure.
Well, let's kind of give them some descriptions here. So we went to New York. All right.
Yes,
first time. Well, for me, it's first time. For you, it wasn't the first time.
It was third time for me.
Yeah, it was the third time for your New York here. We just wanted to go on like a group trip. We just want to see how it would
First
be.
trip that left the chat.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. First trip that left the chat.
Big event here.
Had to test the waters. If this trip flopped, then future trips would also not be a success. So we had to make sure
we got
this
a
was
shout
good.
out to our studio provider here, Kaiwan, though. He was trip lead. He
Kaiwan Wu.
was trip lead, and he did a.
Kept us alive out there.
He did all right.
I mean, he did all right. Yeah, it wasn't crazy, but like
He's leading the next charge, though.
I'm in the next charge. I'm excited for that. And, we actually wanted to film. I wanted to film like a pod there, but, man, it would be so impossible. Like, it just wouldn't make any. We were.
Given our circumstances.
Yeah, man. 'Cause we were moving so quick during those days. We were only in New York for like 5 days. But, damn, bro, there was just so much to do. The culture there was great, though.
Yeah, I think if I had money, I would live there for a little bit.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like,
bro,
if I had, like, just money coming in
Loads of
and I
money.
could just, like, spend, I would probably give, like, a year or two.
There were some
of my
culture
life over
shocks.
there for
There was some like vibes I picked up there. But like, I did want to say though, I want to preface this by saying, so the night before we were going on this trip, right? I'm sleeping. And I'm thinking to myself like, man, that'd be so crazy, bruh, if something went wrong. Like it'd be so crazy, right? And
Yeah, we should let's ask everyone's opinion on this situation that I've been getting blamed for. So you could just explain it and then we could break it down piece by piece.
I'm not,
see what's
no one's
going on.
blaming nobody, but let me explain what happened. So basically, we all went to the airport. So I have a 2-hour rule. I think most people have 2-hour rules when it comes to domestic flights.
Keep in mind this day it was looking about like a 30-minute rule. Like that's
We were
no
really
2 hours
pushing
in
it.
sight.
I don't know why everyone wanted to push it, but we pushed it anyways. We got to the airport like 25, 30 minutes before it departs. And so we're like, damn, we have to move through this fast.
It is like 5:30 in the morning though. But
yeah. And
still.
the thing is, we all have carry-ons, right? So it's not that big of a deal. We all have carry-ons. We're going to be able to, get through TSA quickly and move on. None of us have to check in a bag. And I think besides Alvaro, but he did that early. And then we all got there, and Julian was already there with our other friend, Yermif. So they were already in TSA line. They've been in there for what? How long? Like a good minute?
Probably about 10 minutes total.
About 10 minutes
before I
total.
saw you.
Yeah, so about 10 minutes. And then we're behind them, but we're catching up. I go into the fast line for TSA. And again, time is ticking here. Of the essence.
Yeah, we are like our plane is boarding already.
It is
and
literally
we are
boarding.
not at the gate.
Yeah, we're not
so
at the gate.
We're cutting it close.
Exactly. And so then we get to, so I'm in the fast lane. So I beat out our other friend Kaiwan. And I'm basically caught up to where Julian and our other friend Yermif was. So I'm at the end of the TSA line. So I see Julian, I dab him up. I'm like, all right, bro, getting ready out here. And then I look at Jeremy and I'm like, I dab him up, but I see there was like some sort of fridge behind him. I couldn't recognize what it was. It looked like a fucking fridge. It was magnificently big.
It was a bag.
It was fucking big.
It was a bag.
And I thought to myself, I was like, I don't think that's his because he wasn't going to it. So I just kind of ignored it because he had a backpack on. So I was like, I think we already either have our carry-ons or we have our checked-in bags already. And so then I go back to my line. I'm at the end now. And then I see Yermif go walking towards the bag that I had suspected was not his, but apparently it was his. And I thought to myself at that moment, this guy is not making it past TSA. We are done. And then basically, what do you think happened? He tried checking in the bag. It's not a check and carry-on bag because basically carry-ons have to follow like strict dimensions. Like you have to be very specific in the length and the width.
Yep.
And
Gotta
so his bag was just too fucking big. It was thick. It was just fucking thick.
It was too lengthy.
It was just fucking thicky.
Girth-wise, it was fine.
It was a thickie. And so ultimately he had to run all the way back to check in his bag now. And so at this point I'm like panicking a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, dude, what's happening right now? Like, there's no way this is happening. And I'm thinking too, like, the airport's not going to be that full. It's like so early in the morning and it's also during a weekday.
side note, I've never seen the TSA line. Like in all the times I've never seen it that long ever. So
it's gotta happen sometime.
So I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that, bag aside, I thought we were all missing the flight. Like I just didn't think.
That was a good chance.
That shit was a big line
because we didn't follow the 2-hour rule. But then, so again, what basically Yermif had to basically run all the way back to the beginning, do a check-in. At this point, me and Julian already crossed TSA line. We have 2 friends that are still in the TSA line, and so now we're panicking a little bit. We get to the fucking gate, and the lady's saying, T-minus 15 minutes till takeoff.
Zone 7. We're zone 8, so she's calling zone 7 now.
And then I'm thinking to myself, damn, like, what's happening?
I've also never seen a plane get boarded that fast.
Fast in my life.
They were just getting through it.
They were just going through people. And then me and Julian are over there like, dude, what's happening? Like, I'm actually getting scared now. There's no way. Then so then we're like talking to the front desk lady saying, hey, like, you know, our friend has to check in a bag. Is there any way he can make it? A whole bunch of confusion was happening. Then Kaiwan shows up right after. Fucking... I was so bewildered at the fact that when he got there, we only had like 8 minutes left. Avril shows up, our other friend, 5 minutes before the gate closes. The only ones that have not boarded are us.
They were literally doing roll call.
Yeah, they were doing roll call. And then you would hear on the intercom,
Kaiwan,
Julian, Avril, Matt, can we all show up to the gate? And we're just sitting there like, dude, there's no way this is about to happen right now. Yermif, again, hasn't even checked in his bag.
Yeah, and our boy Alvaro, he was making it one way or another. Keep in mind, he's the last one to pull up, and they're about to shut the gate. That nigga, he just disregarded Yermith and anything involving Yermith, he was getting on that plane.
He didn't give a fuck.
Head down, XM5s on, he just went straight to the fucking check-in lady.
And then we're sitting here trying to talk to the front desk lady saying, hey, can we delay this by like a minute or two? Is there any way our friend's going to make it? And she was like, no, we cannot do this by any means necessary. Even though I've seen on other planes.
I've seen it before.
They've delayed it by like a minute or two.
I've seen them check bags at the gate before, and that was going now to where you guys started blaming me. It's like, that's why I thought he'd be fine with his bag, because I've seen him check bags at the gate and everything before. So it's just like, I just didn't think that this would be as big of a dilemma that it turned out to be. And it just...
You know, I'm not blaming... Listen, honestly, the whole dilemma was... Well, you guys pretty much guessed it. He missed the flight. We couldn't... The man made it 5 minutes after our flight decided to leave.
Banging on the door.
Just banging on the fucking gate door, hoping to God someone was going to open it for him, but no one would ever do that. And so ultimately what ends up happening is we have to go. It was a whole debacle. He had to show up on the next 2 flights over, so he came in later in the day.
Yeah, it was like
but he stayed in
8 o'clock when he got there or something like that.
He basically stayed at the airport for 10 hours, which is crazy. It's so, and it was awful. That first day, I really tried having fun, man.
All over the place that first day.
First day we were trying to have fun, but we just kept thinking to ourselves, there's we left our friend, how are we going to get him back? But again, it did resolve itself. The whole thing was who are we going to blame? We're not blaming anybody. We're not. Actually, our friend took responsibility because he didn't really know what he didn't know what a carry-on or a checked bag looked like, ultimately. Yeah,
but how it works in our group chat, it's like, yes, anyone else could get blamed, but it usually leads back to me somehow.
Well, okay, so
I'm going to be honest.
I'm going to tell people understand. I'm going to put a photo right here. Is this a carry-on? This gargantuan thing. Is this a carry-on?
Are you going to get a picture of this bag to put on the screen?
That's going to be a picture of something. But, I mean, the thing is, you have to realize the reason we're not pointing a finger, but we're slightly doing it with blurred vision, is kind of like when you see a bag that big and thick and you've traveled as often as we have, there's no way you wouldn't say to your friend, yo, bro, check that in, because that is not a carry-on.
Okay,
all of us agreed, by the way. Everyone else agreed.
Yeah, and looking at it and getting a proper analysis of length, width, height, and everything, it's like, I would agree that shit was too big. But I'm thinking I've seen this nigga travel before, so I'm thinking he's carried this bag on before. And it's also, again, as I said, I had an overhead view. I didn't have a I didn't have a view from distance, so I couldn't see the width.
So you're just too massive. That's why you couldn't understand it.
I was standing right next to the dude, so I was looking down on the bag. I'm serious.
So your overshadowing presence.
I'm not saying
disabled you from understanding whether or not that was a check bag or not.
I'm just saying, looking down at it, it looks fine because it was fine width-wise, and that's basically all I was seeing. That's what I'm saying.
Well, regardless, again, we're not blaming anybody, but I'm just saying.
If we had to blame someone.
But we had to, exactly. But regardless, we learned our lesson. I think we all understand now that we're going to get there 2 hours before for domestic flights because that's at least minute. Because even if you didn't catch that, which you didn't, it would have been okay if we were there 2 hours before because he could just go check it in and come back. But we just didn't do that. So like, I think we learned our lesson there.
Yeah.
But besides that, the rest of the trip was great. Like there's some highlights here. What would you say was your favorite moment?
There was a lot. There was a lot.
That was a lot.
It was a very.
But I could put on some photos here too.
It was a very consistent trip. Like every experience, whether it be like something new or like us seeing a movie. Like obviously, we've all seen a fucking movie in the theater before. Like, but even that was like an enhanced experience. I feel like
New York just is over the top of everything.
It was very over the top, and it's just like karaoke was really fun too.
Let's do okay. Well, I mean, if you have to pick one thing. Well, okay, let's actually
you go first.
Yeah, let's narrow it down. Let's narrow some parts of it down. So like the food. In your opinion, how was the food? The food was honestly amazing.
I'm trying to remember what we ate. You had kebabs and shit up the street.
No kebabs, pizza. You had chicken sandwiches.
Oh yeah, that bread box
the
was special.
Chinatown.
The burger from that one place. That was like 40. Place? That was like $45. That was like a top 3 burger of all time. And then the Bird Box chicken sandwich. That was.
I assume that was good too. That was like $15.
I was thinking about that on the flight back.
Surprisingly enough, New York wasn't. It was more expensive, but it wasn't by a large.
It was dead ass just like Miami prices. Like
it wasn't by a large margin really. But I mean.
Now, granted, like the rooftop bars, like $10,000 bottles. That's a little insane.
That's fucking crazy.
But that aside,
no, but the views were crazy. I have a whole bunch of photos too. Like, I mean, the views were nuts. I honestly, in terms of food, I really just wanted to try out pizza, and I was not disappointed, bro. You know what it was? Like the pizza when I had it, you could maybe argue the texture is similar. You could maybe argue like the cheese, maybe, but like the sauce itself was a whole different element.
The sauce is like a big.
It didn't really feel like anything from Florida. Like, and I've had higher end pizza places here and lower end pizza places. It just didn't feel like anything from Florida. Just didn't feel like it.
I could agree with that.
Now, granted, I didn't have the dollar slice. That would have been like a really good test to see how.
Yeah, that was a great deal. I can't believe we didn't take advantage of it. It was like $5 for a drink and 2 slices.
That was so crazy, bro. But I mean,
next time.
The food was great. If we look at like what we really did, we mainly just walked around. I would say my favorite part of the whole trip, though, has to be Chinatown or Koreatown. Cause like the vibe
are you
like,
just saying that whole
the whole experience of us being
like
there,
just going there eating karaoke like boom,
yeah, man. Because we did. I mean, that was just so fun, bro. Like it was fun. There was just like there's something. I mean, I feel like if you like Asian women, that's your spot. You know what I'm saying? Like I see love his Asian women.
Yeah, they were there for sure.
Like they were there, man. Like it's crazy though because I wouldn't say New York had like the most beautiful women, but I think they had the most.
They had
the most. Like,
they had not even
fashionable.
Not even just yeah. I was gonna say not even just women, like the dudes too. Everyone was just like
fashionable,
dressing their best, trying to present themselves. Yeah,
it wasn't like I wouldn't say like it was like looks wise. I would say everyone just looked like they got that aura. Like basically, they had an aura.
I think some of the attire there too is just like shit you don't see here, like trench coats, for example, like the women's trench coats and all that. Like it's just nice.
That's a vibe.
Nice
that's
attire,
a vibe.
Yeah.
The weather was great too. I mean, that shit was like cold. It was like slightly windy.
It was like 60.
Yeah, it was like 60 something.
70 with like light drizzle. It was nice.
I mean, dude, I'm all and like the New York culture. Like out of all the experiences, like one night we decided to go to Brooklyn, right, for a club. And so on our way there, like we're already a little bit like drunk a little bit. I already had a few drinks on me, and like, we're going down the subway. And the subway, you basically use that for all forms of transportation anywhere in New York.
Yeah, subway is very nifty.
Very nifty. Sure. And so we're going down to the subway. We're having a great time. We're smiling, cracking jokes, and then we see like a dead corpse on the bottom of the fucking stairwell. And I'm sitting there like. Still laughing, by the way. I'm like kind of still smiling, but like laughing in like a nervous way. Like that's kind of cool. I mean,
yeah, it was definitely a jump scare.
It was like a jump scare. And then we get down there and there's like a group of like 8-9 people just like forming a circle around the dude. Just complete silence. It was very eerie. Mm-hmm. There was no
trains coming.
No trains.
It's like kind of late. No trains pulling up.
Nothing.
And it's just like.
You could hear a pin drop. You could literally hear a pin drop.
It's like, what was it, 12 people? Just gathered around
this dead body.
And then I'm just like. Vibes just went down. I'm like, we got to get back to the hotel before something happens to us.
Dude, we were.
I'm thinking everything's about to start falling apart.
I was at one point trying to force myself to like keep laughing and smiling and have a good time down there because I was like, I just didn't think he was dead, but a part of me was like, wait, what if he is dead? I'm laughing right now.
Yeah, no,
that'd be so crazy.
It's like there are just some moments like where I'll get anxious, like. quick. Like it'll just come out of nowhere. I was dead ass. Like if he was dead, I would have probably started crying. Like
No, dude, like no, it was so crazy.
like what is going on?
This random ass NPC, the NPCs were crazy in this place, but that random ass NPC who was like a nurse came back from like a late night shift. She
Talking
like
about the girl, right?
Yeah, the girl.
Yeah.
She like starts like treating his body, and then like out of nowhere, within like 2 seconds, a spawn point just opened up, and like we had 2 emergency people come in and pick his ass
dude's
up.
just right around the corner.
Yeah, and
out of a portal.
And then they said he was breathing. So like when he said that, I went from like my frown back to my smile and started laughing again because he was breathing. So like he wasn't dead. But I think it was just some drunk that like fell down the stairs. Basically, I think that's what happened.
Yeah,
you see a beer bottle there,
something like that, or he just drank way too much.
Yeah, just drank way too much. But it was like you don't see. I mean, I guess you could see that here if you're in Miami. You see homeless people fairly often here and there. But like, it just
really felt GTA-esque.
Yeah, felt very GTA-esque.
GTA. Yeah.
We went to like a. Who did we see? We saw like a house performer.
Yeah, don't know her name, but she was great.
But she was great.
The dude was good too.
House music was great. Honestly, the whole and then like the live performances too. Those were great too. That we went to like Cafe Wall. I would recommend going to. If you ever go to New York, definitely go to Cafe Wall.
Gotta reserve it though, but it's
you have to reserve, but that is worth the reservation, bro. I'm not even. Spot. I can put up some videos here too, but dude, that shit was so. Like I've been in front of a live,
its own like little server.
Yeah, imagine you're going down like 2 flights of stairs into a basement, and then there's like a big basement full of just people in their own tables, eating, drinking, having a chill time, and then in the middle you have these performers that come out, play like their bands or like their comedians that come out.
Yeah, they play like popular music, just like with their own little spin to it. Like when that nigga started rapping Nicki Minaj, I was like,
dude,
this is the best night of my life.
No, it was literally what, dude. It was because what's crazy too is like during the performance we went like really close. There was a guy who was a guitar soloist, and we got really close.
You shared a moment with him.
But I literally like I don't know why, but I was locked in on him, bro. Like and our eyes met, dog. Mm-hmm. No gay though, no homo. Like
no,
it's just
I saw him. He was eyeing you the whole time as he was shredding that shit. That's what I'm saying.
Man. And then hit me with the like I was like.
Just say nigga. You might as well. After, if you saw the moment, you would agree with me. It's just like,
well, I mean,
it was definitely nigga worthy.
Yeah, sure. But at the same time, not really, because there was a whole bunch of white people in that place. Like it was actually straight white women. But
he singled you out though.
That's because they recognize each other. You know what I'm saying? We recognize each other. Come on, stop playing with me. But actually, another point I want to bring up too is the amount. Again, nothing wrong with this, but the amount of snow bunnies. The white woman in New York is crazy, because our friend who actually lives there, he actually showed us an article, and the article was how if you dated one white girl in New York, you dated all of them. I understand what he meant now, because literally they all have the same aesthetic. It's almost like you're seeing the same person walk every corner. It's very like they all like it's the same aesthetic, the same style.
Yeah, but
I'm not judging them. What I'm saying is like I understand how people view it that way.
I definitely see that, but I feel like that just applies to any major city. Like they all have like a look to them. Like in Miami, like it's BBL Central. Like you're seeing, it's a look. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's just a certain aesthetic to certain metropolitan areas. Is that the right word? Metropolitan?
Yeah, I mean,
right? Yeah. So I don't know. But it was like in California too. Like I feel like you'd see a lot of women and men dressing like in a certain style and fashion to them. But
yeah, no, but the article was also saying like how they all like act the same, talk the same way, and like we don't live there long enough to understand that.
Really get a good read off of that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand that because we don't live there. We don't live there long enough. But like he was saying to us that like no, it's true, dude. Like they all the same. I mean, in terms of aesthetic, I can tell you they all pretty much had the same aesthetic.
For sure.
And it was very. I don't know, man. It was regardless of that, though, it was a great time. I actually understand why New York is like the #1 city to not date somebody. It's like the worst city I think in the U.S. to date somebody. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Because bro, I'm thinking about it now. Like the amount of aura everyone was fucking emitting from their presence was crazy. Like I'm not even saying.
That's why you just gotta be the top dog.
Yeah, like you literally. I won't lie. It kind of felt competitive living in New York. Like you kind of have to like compete. Like it makes sense. I mean, you compete with everybody regardless, but. Like the level of competition is just different.
Definitely a higher elo.
Yeah, it's like a higher. Sure. That's what I'm saying. It's a higher level area, and it's just so weird though because after like thinking about it, it makes sense. Because if you think about it, bro, the places that we went to, like the rooftop bars, like all the high end places,
we had no business being in some.
Yeah, I mean, we really don't. But at the same time, like we finesse our way in.
I know none of like in that over. I know none of those niggas had 100,000, but like I'm not monetarily. We shouldn't have been there. We definitely were intruders.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like, I think we were able to fake it. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I think we pulled up with the fits, and we pulled up with the, I think we pulled up in a way to fake the shit.
But like the guy that stole our table, for example, at the second rooftop bar, he could probably buy all of us out.
Yeah, he could buy all of us out. No, I mean, there was one point, like if that guy, if we were sitting at a
was his table,
and this guy said, "Yo, you guys mind if I like take this from y'all?" I would just say yes. I mean, he'll probably
even if we said no, we're getting up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I feel like
a couple minutes.
I would say
sure.
yes because I would want to be. I mean, I feel like he'll probably just pay me. I don't know. Someone. I mean, these guys are rich.
Yeah, that was his spot.
They'd be loaded out here. So there was definitely a lot of aura for sure. The food was great. The comedy nights were also, dude. We went to
better than I expected.
100%. We went to one comedy night. I never been to a stand-up comedy performance before.
Neither.
And so this was also in a basement. I just love the fact that literally everything, like, it's interconnected through basements, bro. It's like so nice. Like you go down a basement, boom. You go down this other door, you're in a different location, in a different basement.
Yeah, it's like you don't expect it to be so big down there.
Yeah, you don't.
And it's cool.
I'm walking down to the basement, and it's like massive. It's like really wide, a lot of space, a lot of room. And so we went to one comedy night, and they had two people from SNL that are performing.
They had two from SNL and two from Tonight Show, I think.
Yeah,
I think that's
and so and honestly, while we were there, I kind of like when they announced when she was saying, because the host was introducing everybody first, when she was saying, "Oh, we got two people from SNL," I thought to myself like, this probably won't be good, because SNL, in my opinion, has gone down dramatically in terms of just how funny it is, and it's not really as entertaining as it was before. Yeah. It's very political. You can tell it's very much aiming for a very specific target audience. But when we were there, bro, these guys would literally take away our phones, and they were like as soon as they took away our phones and they said, "Go enjoy yourselves," I was like, "What?" And then we sit down. The amount of like like how dark these jokes got were amazing. Like there was some racism, there was some sexism, there was some fat phobic jokes. Like they went in. Even the people from SNL went in, and I'm sitting there like, these were the best. This was like the best comedy.
Yeah, it was just
ever.
great. It was just great delivery. It was a great delivery, and it was just a great structure.
Yeah,
because the host was really good too. I thought
she was funny as hell.
When she was firing off, I thought that she was like the first act, to be honest. But then obviously the first dude came in. He was great, talking about the prison freestyle shit.
Oh, yeah, no, that was so good, bro. No, I mean you're right, dude. I actually gained like a whole new perspective now with SNL, because at first I was like, oh, these guys are just weird ass people that are not that funny, that just have a job because it's political. Like it's just political for them to do this.
Well, yeah, and
then you look into it, and it's like, no, these guys are actually really funny, but they just cannot show their true colors on the TV
programs like that, because you have to censor yourself a little bit.
So that's why they come down and do this, and they show their true style of like comedy, and it's hilarious. Like there's almost, I promise you, there was like no divide in politics. Like as in, I'm sure people were Trump supporters or Kamala supporters.
One of them literally made like a Trump joke that I feel like if you were like a diehard Trump supporter, you may or may not get mad at, but
it was funny. It was funny.
People weren't even tweaking like that. Yeah, I forgot what he said. I think it was the third dude with the glasses, but no, it was good.
It was great.
Altogether,
it was great.
Yeah.
Comedy was great. The culture was great. The people, I mean, I didn't have any issues. People usually say that New York is very rude and stuff, but I didn't really encounter any of that myself personally.
You said you saw an incident like first day.
Oh yeah, we were at McDonald's.
That was the YNs.
Yeah, I mean, this one kid was like, "Excuse me," trying to get past the line, and this other kid. I forget what he said, but he said like, he told him to shut the fuck up.
Talking about dickhead.
Yeah, he called him some stupid shit, bro. Like, but I mean, besides that, everyone seemed pretty chill. I had a kebab on the street. That was not that good. I'll be honest with you.
$45, right?
It was like no, bro. It was $15.
Well, no, you said it was pricey for what you got.
It was pricey for a kebab, and he gave it to me in like a bun. Like you gotta be fucking kidding me. But besides that, yeah, the food was great. Honestly, if you were to go to New York. I would, like if you have plans to go to New York, I would say definitely try to go to a comedy night. Try out some rooftop bars. You don't have to buy like a lot. Like I think if you go to a rooftop bar, I mean you just gotta buy one thing maybe.
Well, a lot of the places there's like that requirement
Yeah, there's a requirement of buying
Like
one thing.
buying one thing or two things.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But,
Feel free to like go check those places out. Try to go do sightseeing, of course. We didn't like. We really mainly just walked around everywhere, which was fun to do. We saw like the 9/11 memorials.
saw
we
the
crossed
Empire
Brooklyn
State Building briefly.
Yeah, we did.
see that.
Yep, exactly. We saw that. And honestly, what I would say is too, we're like, I would recommend definitely getting a hotel, maybe in the central part of New York. It's definitely a bit pricier, but if you have friends coming with you, it's definitely worth it. Just because you guys can split it. Honestly, out of pocket, the hotel was only like $300 for us individually. So it was really it was honestly a good deal for how many days we were there. I would definitely recommend it. Eat as much as you possibly can. And yeah, that was a great time. So, but again, now we're back. So now we're back to our regular scheduled program here.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of New York, we did see Sinners. So
Oh, you are so right. Oh my God. Send a review real quick. What's your opinion, dog?
I think it was a great movie, and I think it really showed how the times were back then with Black America and Jim Crow and stuff like that. And it
All
was
right,
just,
well, give me a rating before we get into detail.
oh, you want rating off the bat? I think a 9.
It's a 9.
Yeah, I think 9. I think I was thoroughly enjoying it from front to back.
It's not bad. Okay.
What would you give it? 5.5?
I wish I was that high. I mean, it's tough to be that high.
What would you actually give it, bro?
Now, honestly, in my opinion, I would say it was definitely a solid, like, okay, so for what it was, so why you close your eyes, bro? Like,
Because
as
I
if
feel
you
like
had the lowest expectations.
Because I know you're gonna try and like rage bait.
No, I'm not rage baiting, bro. Honestly, it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. I would say 8.5 or 9. One of those two.
Yeah, I think it was like one of a kind. Like
It was one
I'm
of a
not
kind.
an avid movie watcher, but like from the movies I've seen, I've never seen a movie like that.
Yeah, I want to say, like, obviously, I might go into a little spoilers here, so just keep that in mind. Spoiler warning for sinners. If you haven't seen it, I want to go watch it. I would say, usually when I give ratings, I feel like if I give an 8 out of 10 up for something, it's worth buying a ticket and going to watch it. If it's a 7 out of 10, you could maybe hold off on it if you want, but it wouldn't be a complete waste of your money. But 8 out of 10, I would say, is definitely worth the money. And so with Sinners, like, Michael B. Jordan had a crazy performance. He was playing two motherfuckers.
I was gonna say he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, he was playing himself and a brother.
Really good.
And so he had to switch up his personality a little bit here and there. And really the moral, like, so again, spoiler warning, the moral of the story is like, it has to do with like demonic stuff, vampires.
Well, because I was talking about when I went to Buffalo the other night, I was talking to my other group of friends about it.
Yeah.
And I think it was taking inspiration from, Robert Johnson.
Who's that?
I'm pretty sure he was like a dude like who played an instrument so well that he kind of like was able to play it to the other worlds. That's why like the vampires kind of intervened in this movie. Like, remember like that one scene where he was like going through time and shit like that?
Yeah.
Like the main scene of the movie, like I think the real life, quote unquote real life version of that was like a dude named Robert Johnson who kind of like could do something. So let me look it up just so I'm not speaking bullshit. Oh no, so the belief for him was that he like sold his soul in exchange for guitar mastery. But I think that's like that the main character was taking some inspiration from that, basically.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you were saying something. I kind of went off.
Well, no. I mean, I want to go into like the plot of the story. So basically, it's like these two brothers come back from serving in World War I and working in Chicago's underworld. So like the mafia, the whatever.
Smoking stack.
Yeah, exactly. And
Your
then
cousins.
And then when they come back, they have this idea of starting up their own little joint, selling, alcohol, maybe some drugs, but also selling music. Like, it's a live performance place. Yeah, so I mean, they basically buy a sawmill from this one racist white guy, and all they're really doing is making their own kind of little joint to have people come in and whatever. Like the locals come in.
Black folk primarily.
Yeah, black folk. Yeah, and then ultimately, like, they have to find someone to play music, so they hire their cousin to come play music for them. And then essentially, they're all gonna come together like on this one night and just perform live music and have a great time. And that's kind of like this. That's the setup of the film. And
Well,
then it kind of
the film starts with like the end of it, which I thought was cool.
Oh yes.
And
It was.
then it's like
shown
one day
pieces.
later or one day earlier.
Yeah, one day earlier. Yeah. And then so basically, like, the whole idea was just like you said, like there are these people that play music and like their music is able to transcend to like the other side,
like
or
another, like, transcend our reality.
yeah,
to,
our
like,
reality and
other
like
dimensions
just,
or whatever.
other dimensions, and bring about like great good, but also great evil at the same time.
Yeah.
Basically, what ends up happening is that they perform in that night in the sawmill, and then vampires strike, right? Like, and then so basically, the whole idea is these vampires are trying to convert the people that make this amazing music, so that the music can live on for generations. And it had a lot to do though with like racial. It was a lot of like Black history in it too. Honestly, like how I'm trying to explain this is basically I just think that the point of the movie, or like a key part of the movie, was you have these like people, the spiritual people that can create this music that is like monumental. It's like generational, transcending. And so in this case here, I think it refers to like, you know, people of color, Black people that are trying to transition over to becoming free. And this music is freeing. And then you have these vampires that serve as the antagonists who were kind of
try to hold them back,
oppress them, try to even take their culture in the sense of take their music and redefine it into their own. And then that's what I think kind of was the premise of the movie. And then you see that resistance that Black people had against that. And then, honestly, man, it was a good movie. That music? No, there's one scene, y'all boys, if you haven't watched it, or if you have watched it, let me tell you right now. There's this one scene in the barn. Again, it's a spoiler, keep in mind. And
I love the blues.
Not even lying to you, bro. Like when they were like getting into it and he started playing, and then like the music.
It was a lot of sounds, but it was good.
Yeah, and then the music was like switching up. It was like, wait, it showed like he's playing like the classical like blues, and then it jumps to a guy with an electric guitar, then it jumps to another Black performer, another one, and it's like generational. So it's like going through the generations.
But it was
rappers,
also going
DJs.
back in time too.
Dude, I was like, dude, and they were mixing all that music together. I don't know who was mixing this, man, but damn, they need a raise.
Yeah.
That was hard, bro. You know what's crazy, man? I'm thinking about it too. Like, I really hope people watch this movie because it's like, dude, I feel like imagine like you're a racist, right? Imagine like you're like a white guy that has no Black friends. Imagine you're someone that just hasn't grown up with Black people, right? It's like, what do you think when you watch something like this?
Anger. Hatred, man.
Like what do you actually like? What do you think about? Because it's like this was pure good vibes.
It was
pure good vibes.
Like obviously there were some like evil elements to it, but I think all in all, for the main parties, like it ended up well, you know, because like everyone became free in their own way. With Preacher Boy, like eventually getting his own little gig and like becoming like a superstar, jazz player and whatever, and then just growing old and doing what he wanted to do and taking that risk, even though his dad was trying to like
stop him from taking that risk.
His dad was just trying to keep him safe, which obviously is understandable, like
of a father, yeah,
given what happened that night and then him coming back to the church or whatever.
But also insinuating what has happened to their people whenever they tried to branch out.
Yeah.
During that transition period.
His dad was telling him like to just put the guitar down and just like
give it up,
and then what's the word I'm looking, like submit to it, like just like be okay with it, just like this is how it is,
this is how it is,
and we just gotta do with it like what we will. But then he ended up like keeping the guitar and then just leaving, starting his own thing. So then he became free in that sense. And then it was Smoke and Stack. I don't remember which one was which, so I'm just gonna say Red and Blue. Blue Michael B, he got his freedom at the end by taking out all those niggas with the.
Oh, he was going crazy.
He was doing some like Terminator shit, going crazy.
No, Blue Michael Jordan was going crazy.
And then him getting reunited with his wife in the afterlife, and then, like, him seeing his child or whatever. That was his freedom. And his freedom, with Red Michael B, him and Haley breaking free from the vampires.
The culture.
Because like when he was attacking his brother, I think his brother was like, just don't touch Preacher Boy. Like,
don't touch Preacher Boy.
Whatever. And then now they're immortal, just like living together, loving together for eternity or whatever. So.
I remember in the earlier part of that film, how Haley Steinfeld, basically you saw that Haley Steinfeld wanted to be with the Red Michael Jordan, but he kept saying like, we can't do that. And at first it's insinuating that he doesn't like her, but he does like her. He just doesn't want to put her in a situation where she's dating a Black man.
And she's in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they're going to come after her.
On the flip side, at the end, now they are free. And so now they're together throughout all the generations. Because basically, big spoiler here, they end up surviving. But they're the only two vampires that survived from that incident. Yeah. So now they're living through the generations.
And they have like their own free will since they're not controlled by the head.
Yeah, exactly. They're not controlled by nobody. Yeah. They have their own free will. And so it's one of those things, man. It's like, it was just all around. It had so much cultural references.
And I think that scene at the end like bumped it from like an 8.5 to a 9 to me.
Yeah.
Like, just seeing them at the bar and then like him being old. And him talking about how that was like the best day of his life before shit went south. It was just good.
No, I think he meant also when shit also went south.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure he said like word for word, like before everything
Oh, really?
happened, like that was the best
Because
day
I
of
thought he
my
was
life.
I thought he was insinuating that like the whole thing was the best night of his life. Because it was like, because I feel like there's beauty in,
Yeah,
and
no, I
like,
think,
and
I
obviously
think,
being happy and being joyful during a certain time, but also being hit by resistance and overcoming the resistance. I think that's
yeah,
also
I
a
think he
beautiful thing too.
appreciates. I think he appreciates that part of it, but obviously, many people like
Trying to traumatize
died
it. It's
in
very
that, and then it's
traumatizing.
just
Yeah.
like a lot just happened. So I think he meant like in terms of his
How he felt that whole
happiness
day.
as a human being. Like he
How he
was
felt.
going crazy that night. I mean, I could see he was shredding that fucking guitar, and then
Yeah, he was going
got
nuts.
his girl, and they were going crazy too. And yeah,
It was honestly, it was good. It was a good lineup of actors too. These got like I haven't seen some of these actors at all before, and they were really good.
yeah, that one dude was funny.
Who?
The older guy who
Oh,
was
the
like
older
the
guy
comedic
who plays the
relief.
the harmonica.
Yeah, he was.
He was
funny.
hilarious,
He was funny.
bro. Was it harmonica? Yeah, it was.
He
Right?
was doing harmonica, but he could also do piano too, I think, and stuff like that.
He was so funny, bro. Honestly, all in all, I think if I'm looking at it again, I'm gonna say actually a 9 because for what it is, like I look at every movie for like what is this movie? Like what are they trying to hit? What's the point of the movie here? And I think honestly, it's a 9 out of 10. Like I think it's well worth it. The music amazing, the actor performances amazing.
Yeah, and
The story wasn't so overly complex where sometimes people get lost, but this was so well done.
I was gonna say at first I was kind of like not where this is going. Like I understood the theming, but I just didn't know how it would end.
How that was gonna
like,
end,
Like
yeah.
what was gonna happen. But no, at the end I feel like you're pretty satisfied with the ending. and-
Yes.
But it's still a movie where you'll be like, okay, let me go watch a YouTube explanation video on this just to like get a more in-depth analysis of like the little things I may or may not have missed. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know why Alvaro was saying the shit started slow. I think it was perfect pacing, honestly.
No, it was perfect pacing.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing, right? If you say it starts slow, I don't really see I mean, it took place over the course of a night, like a whole day.
Yeah.
It was less than 24 hours.
I think it was great build up.
So I think it was perfect the way they were setting it up. Like it was literally perfect. And the performances by Michael B. Jordan were also crazy. Like I don't know how they can
Yeah.
have two people on the same screen like that, but I feel like
I saw a video of them breaking it down, and he was wearing like a
a bodysuit or something.
no, it was like a device where he like had a bunch of cameras like wrapped around his neck, like getting every angle of his face.
That's crazy. What
Yeah.
the hell? Honestly, you know what I think, man? I think maybe they would have. Someone told me that. What was that guy's name who was supposed to play Kang the Conqueror?
Jonathan Majors
People were telling me that he was supposed to be the brother, but they
before Michael B.
yeah. That's what people were saying online. But I think maybe it was bullshit. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, he's a great actor himself,
He's
but
also a
I
great
think
actor.
Michael was.
He did superb here.
Yeah,
he did
was,
superb. I mean, you
like,
can't beat him.
You could just see like the little
The nuances.
details in both of his characters to like make them have that difference. Like how
Mm-hmm.
Red MJ was like a bit more like cocky and like less serious and had like a little bravado to him, and then like the Blue, I think Blue was Smoke. I'm pretty sure Blue was Smoke. Like he seemed a bit more like, even though it's the same person, like he seemed like he had a bit more like wit to him, and like he was definitely a lot more stern and just like serious and
Yeah,
shit
he was
like
more-
that.
he was smoking,
a lot more
he was-
business oriented.
Yeah, a
Like
lot
we
more
saw him like just
business-oriented.
pop the two dudes.
The
at
other one was a lot
convenience
more.
store.
Yeah, man. I mean, they did a good job with that film. Like, I honestly think it was worth the money. I think we spent like what, like 15
It's great theater
bucks?
too.
It was great. Yeah, dude. We went to
Very
what was
cool.
the theater name called?
Alamo Draft House.
Dude, oh my god! If you go to New York, go to the Alamo Draft House Theater.
Yeah,
like,
they have a couple locations. We have one in Florida, but it's just in Naples.
yeah, but it's not the same.
It's in Naples.
There's no way it's the same.
Well, yes, yeah, it's not the same. Like
Not the
in
same.
terms of the actual aesthetic of
Atmosphere
the
and the
place.
aesthetic, bro.
But it's like the same concept. But it's I know what you're saying.
I would say go check out the Alamo Theater if you ever go to New York. It's gonna be
Manhattan.
like, trust me, go do it, bro. It is literally a 10 out of 10 experience. It's like 3 floors of a theater. Three
Yeah,
floors.
it's
The
very cool
first floor
location.
being like the dinner area, the chill lounge area. Second floor being like the first stage of theaters that you're able to go to, but it's also like a hub. It's like a whole bunch of retro, old like
Yeah, yeah.
shows, movies you can rent.
Just looks like an old like comic book store.
Yeah,
or
it's like an
something.
old comic book store.
very
It's
cool.
such a vibe. It's crazy. Definitely go check that out. But yeah, so we saw Sinners. We have to talk about this, bro. I know we've been missing out because we haven't been able to speak about this, but One Piece has been going crazy.
One Piece has been going
Okay,
crazy.
so obviously the last 2 episodes we'll talk about because we just got
let's talk about
episode.
3 of them. We didn't talk about when Saturn dropped in either.
So let's explain. So what happened in that episode actually? So 1128 was when they finally breached the island. They were now on.
Talking about the Marines.
Well, yeah, because the Marines
Yeah.
are already on the
Yeah.
island. Well, Saturn ends up basically now taking matters into his own hands, but he just spawned in on the island because he was on the boat. I remember he was on the boat and he just spawned in on the island automatically.
Well, yeah, because he got like summoned in, like with the whole pentagram shit.
Oh, the pentagram
this
shit.
nigga's like a fucking demon.
Oh, there's some demonic stuff in this show, dog.
Yeah,
like,
but it's only for them though.
that's what I'm telling you because
Yeah.
I'm thinking like these guys are all extensions of Emu.
In some way, shape, or form.
And I'm thinking
because
Emu.
we've never seen anyone like pull up like that in the show ever. Like,
Yeah, nah,
that
bro.
was very interesting.
Well, his great arrival was he became some arachnid. He was like some
Yeah,
spider-like
it's like
guy.
a mythical. Well, did they say he had a fruit, or is that just?
I don't think
is
he's
that
got a
just his
fruit, bro.
base form?
I don't think he's got a fruit. I think that's just him being like a devil type shit. I don't think that's
I
like
feel like it would have to be an emu extension then, of some sorts, because that just I don't. Would I be spoiling myself if I looked that up? Okay, mythical zone type devil fruit, apparently. So that means all of them would have that. I'm pretty sure. The 5 elders.
But they all feel like they're. But don't you remember when Emu, like combined with all of them? So clearly the fruit has to be intertwined with her.
Well, I don't think they combined. I think they just made a big shadowy.
No, they all combined. They all
so.
became one monster chasing after Cobra.
No, dude, I don't think so. I think it was just like they were waiting to show us like what their actual forms looked like, so they just kept them shadowy. You could
No,
look it
no,
up
I
really
mean,
quick.
but regardless here, I mean, he shows up. His whole debut came on, which is kind of weird. It also insinuates more of the demonic stuff that's been going on, which is kind of what I was suggesting to you. I was saying like, oh, the whole element of like One Piece, I feel like is just it has a lot of biblical references. That's why I was saying that Emu was like the devil, and then maybe Nika, the sun god, is like the good god, like
he's
the
the
lights.
god of
Maybe
liberation.
Jesus, maybe
God of Liberation.
he's a brother. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we don't know. Like
God of Liberation. That's what they call him.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like maybe, again, I also think that like Emu has to be a fruit in and of itself too, right?
What you're saying? Emu is a fruit? Wait, what? What'd you say?
Yeah, because I'm thinking that Emu and the elders are all one being because they all have because I think they all share that same thing. Like I think Emu.
What you're saying? Like similarly to how like Vegapunk has extensions of himself.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think that's the same thing with Emu. Like these elders are extensions. Also, how long have these elders lived?
I mean, I don't know because we saw him looking exactly the same in the
Exactly
Kuma
the
flashback.
same in the Kuma backstory, which was like 40 fucking years ago.
Just have to wait and see because I don't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, like think about it, bro. I don't think it's a devil fruit because
Well, I mean, it definitely
it is a devil
is.
fruit, but it doesn't make sense for it to be like a normal devil fruit. It probably is something similar to like the gum gum fruit, where it's like that was Nika's embodiment of who he is, and then you also have Emu, who I think Emu just didn't end up. Maybe Nika lost. So that's why that's why his devil fruit was spawned in or whatever. But maybe Emu didn't lose. So Emu in and of itself, I feel like is a devil fruit. Or like is the actual embodiment of what a devil fruit is. Which is why then she has her disciples, 5 elders, which she is probably blessed with immortality. And it feels like they're extensions of her. Because even if you want to say that they're all separate, like they all have different devil fruits, or the same type of different devil fruits, that wouldn't make any sense. Because even if you want to include Emu, they all came together into one form.
Let me look this shit up, man.
Bro, no, I mean, don't spoil it.
No,
Like,
I'm saying
look
I'm
at the scene.
gonna look up the scene because I don't think they went into one. I think they were just 6 shadows chasing the nigga.
All right, so let's get back to the original scene. So you just saw it. Well, yeah, so it shows them as separate, but what I'm thinking, but again, they all look the same.
Yeah, they all look whatever.
They
I
all
guess
look the
we'll
same.
see in due
Well,
time.
I'm
I think
insinuating-
they're their own entities.
What I'm
though.
all insinuating is that like they all, unless for again, you're telling me there was 5 fruits that were like dispelled into the world that serve the same purpose for the elders to use all together.
Well, they're mythical zone types.
But are they
Just
all
like
the
just
same?
like how Luffy's is a mythical zone.
But my thing is, like, they all appear to be similar because they all transform into like a devilish kind of shadowy figure. So,
Well,
they all look the same.
I was saying that could be like their hybrid forms.
I still think that Emu is like the head shadow, and then her other shadows are like her extensions of herself, basically. Like you can't beat Emu unless you also beat all the shadows. That's what I'm thinking. They serve as like I guess Horcruxes, like kind of similar to Harry Potter. There's like Horcruxes that keep the main guy Voldemort alive. I'm pretty sure that's what's called Horcruxes.
I don't know. I'm not a Harry Potter.
Well, basically, like you kill all these other things where he stores his soul, and then you can eventually go kill him. But you cannot kill him unless you kill all these extensions of himself. And so that's why I think serves here as like Emu and then his followers that he chose.
Maybe I don't know. All I know is after looking at that scene, Emu, the transformation that she did or he did looked very like rubbery, kind of similar to Luffy a little bit. Like transforming with the big ass hands. You just watched the scene? Did you see the scene?
Yeah, no, I saw it. I don't know.
I wonder what the fuck.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm thinking like him So obviously you have Saturn transforming. It's very demonic. There's like a pentagram, whatever. It's like, dude.
Well, the pentagram has 5 sides, so I think it like represents the 5 dudes.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like they're all extensions of Emu. That's what I'm saying. I feel like they're all extensions of Emu. And at least that was, and again, that's pretty much what happened in episode 28 because that was, the rest of the episode was like Kizaru versus Luffy.
And then Bonnie just tried sneaking him.
And then Bob only like stabbed him, which didn't really do much.
Yeah.
It was kind of depressing watching that. But again, that's what happened in that episode. Then we got episode 1129.
Which was some Kuma backstory.
Oh my God, dude, I won't lie to you.
That was good.
I don't know how Oda does it to keep me like invested in these fucking backstories. I was tearing up. I won't lie to you.
It's because he circles them back to shit like that we've been introduced to, like just seeing his dad talking about basically Luffy, just like how the god of liberation or the warrior of liberation is going to come back, and then like he'll see it one day, and then him doing the same ass dance that we were just introduced to, like, well, back in Skypiea we were introduced to shit, but we didn't know. But it's just like seeing everything connect. I feel like that's like the beauty with it, and why Oda is able to keep us engaged in the way he does.
No, Oda is just a blessing, bro. I swear. I mean, and frankly, that episode. So at least in episode 1129, it was showing how he's from a rare lineage, like the Buccaneer lineage. I assume the Buccaneer lineage is like just people who are strong, like big.
Yeah, and I think they had affiliations to Nika.
Could also be the case.
That's what it was, because Saturn was saying, I think it was last episode, when Kuma was kind of crying to him, he was like, I just want to save people, like that's like it's in my blood, like that's just what I want to do. And then Saturn was like, well, that's the problem. And then that's why, like, you gotta,
I see what you're saying,
like,
bro.
that's why you gotta.
And we'll get to 11:30 because a lot of cool shit happened. But 11:29, at least, like they were showing that the Celestial Dragons were like enslaving him, his mom, and his dad. I won't lie, I was tearing up when his dad was literally saying like, "Just take me, like leave my son and wife alone." His wife wasn't even like of the race, but they took her anyways.
Yeah, but she was tainted now.
And then like the Celestial Dragon.
That's how they saw it, man.
And then the Celestial Dragons like come in and they like try to set. I mean, you could even make an argument of like this shit was kind of
racist
a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a snow bunny and a brother, and they couldn't be together.
I felt it. I definitely felt it for sure.
You definitely felt that.
I was in fight or flight a little bit.
Yeah, you were in fight or flight. I could tell. And then it just sucks, man, because then they're together, and then it shows like the mom and the dad telling him it's gonna be okay. Mom's dead. Damn.
Yeah, that sucks.
That sucks. Yeah. We killed off screen, and then the dad was saying,
I knew the dad was going when he started hitting that fucking 2-step, bro. I was like, yeah, he's great.
So then his dad's dancing, like telling him to follow the sun god, all this stuff. And then his dad just gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
Right in front of the sun, bro.
And I liked the POV switch in the next episode too. That was solid.
Dude, I won't lie to you though, like they really make you hate Celestial Dragons. Like they really
do a great job.
I honestly, it made me think back to when Luffy like punched one out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, and I remember watching that part for the first time. Like, I've never like, it's really rare that I'm like watching a show and I'm like, damn, I wish these niggas were real so I could like punch one myself. Bro. Yeah, it's
the absolute worst of humanity.
Feeling that with that first Celestial Dragon dude. But yeah, no, they do a great job of making you dislike them.
Yeah, and they were just showing like the hardships of like Kuma, what he had to go through as a kid. And then it jumps to episode 11:30. 11:30 was when we saw what happened in God Valley. Or not all of what happened in God Valley.
I hope we can.
But basically, they were doing like a cleansing. So the Celestial, I assume what happens is the Celestial Dragons came. They were having a traditional hunt. So they had their own people hunt innocent civilians, wives, like women, children, and men. Which is awful. Yeah. And they were basically gunning them down as they ran away. They had targets on their back.
Got like points for it.
Kuma was also there too, which is, I don't know why. I mean, if he's a Buccaneer, why would you not have him as a servant?
Well, they want to kill him.
Yeah, I guess kill him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they were basically having like a thing. Like they were having this hunt at God Valley, and if you won, there was 2 devil fruits available. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was ridiculous, like how close one Ivankov was to getting Kaido's fruit,
Dude,
literally in his
crazy.
hand. That's crazy. But it's just like how close. Also, Kuma, like he could have easily gotten that one too. Like how. It's just
No,
ridiculous.
Big Mom was so fine, bro.
Yeah, Big Mom was
Shit,
like
it's crazy.
Gloriosa. She was something too.
Dude,
the
I don't
snake
even.
lady.
Dude, and they had Lucy. They had Lucy. Wasn't it not Lucy? Stussy?
Is that her?
Yeah, it's her, right?
She looks like she hasn't aged a day.
That's what I'm saying. So why is she even there?
Ridiculous.
Is that not her? I thought that was Stussy, right?
I think she was like with Whitebeard or something.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it was so weird to see her.
I don't know.
Is that her?
Lore. I really don't know.
Regardless, like basically they were having this hunt. If you won, you would win like the top 2 performers would win like devil fruits. One of them was the obviously Kaido's fruit. The other one was the what's it called?
Pawpaw.
The pawpaw fruit, which like launches you across whatever. And so then you see that the escape plan was Ivankov recruited Kuma as well as Kuma's future wife, I think. And then they ended up
Yeah, that's definitely
definitely
Ivanka's
her,
mom.
definitely her. And they ended up basically just the plan was to escape that time, and they had to get the fruits first. So they somehow got to the fruits. But while this was happening, you had the Marines that were supposed to defend the island as they were having the hunt, and then you had the pirates finding out that the fruits were there.
Man,
Now they were coming to invade, and so the pirates were Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, and even Roger.
They looked hard.
Even Roger, and then Garp was notified of this too. Like,
well, there was like, there was Rocks too, which we haven't seen him.
yeah, we haven't seen
But
that.
it's like, this nigga has to be. Obviously, he is a monumental character, but there has to be something to him
There's
as
gotta
to
be.
why we haven't seen him yet. Because we deadass just saw his whole lineup, and we still haven't seen him.
Dude,
and I think he got beat by Garp and Roger double teaming him, right? Like they couldn't beat him 1-on-1. Was that how it went?
I don't know.
Pretty sure.
Well, because remember the whole like it showed Garp, everyone reaching the island, dude. Looking at a young Roger and a young Garp was so crazy because Garp was kind of killing it out there. Like I won't lie to you.
Yeah, he had to be defeated by an alliance by Garp and Roger. Like they had to come together and beat Zabek, which is like, who is this nigga?
Yeah, sure. I was like, who is this guy? And I'm sure we're gonna find out soon. But then Roger pulls up last second. Roger's team looked kind of nasty too. I won't fucking lie to you. They look like
Yeah,
just
they had a young Rayleigh and then the other guy with the dual wielding.
yeah, do it. And then the guy with the big hands. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Dude, his team looked crazy.
Roger looked very like Luffy-esque.
Yeah, he was like,
I was like
he was young. He
yeah.
didn't have long ass hair, short hair. And then like you're thinking like, wait, I'm thinking to myself like, bro, they're about to show the craziest fight of all time.
We have
then
to,
boom.
We have to see that.
The history, and boom, it was erased from history. So now no one knows. No one knows what happened. Nobody knows the truth behind it.
So maybe that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like this nigga is actually dead. This is a Beck dude. Like maybe he got beat, quote unquote, by Garp and Roger, and there was some like.
Well, I don't even know. I feel like they haven't given us enough information to
I know,
speculate.
like because they were saying that his goal was to become. I don't know if I saw in the episode or if I was doing research afterwards, but his goal was to become like king of the world, and it's like Emu was kind of king of the world. So then it's like, is it that nigga?
No, I don't think so, dude.
Like I don't know.
It's like it's so annoying because I don't even know Rogers involved. I know Rogers had involvement in like in knowing about the poneglyphs and all that other stuff about the world's history in the past. But it's like I don't think we have enough information to go off of yet. And even honestly, in my head at least, like I'm hoping they revisit this episode because they also showed Kuma face to face with Saturn, but they didn't show what happened after.
I don't. Was that all supposed to like represent that history being erased?
Yes.
Like them just cutting to where Kuma was like at the house with the girl?
At the house with the girl.
Oh,
the history was erased. But we know Kuma saved 500 people, which I assume was with the fruit.
Yeah.
And then I also, like, you know what happened. Like, you know that Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard, Roger, all the Marines, they all probably went into it. And if it's been erased, were they ever exposed to the fact that was Emu, I assume Emu was existing that time anyways, 100%. So were they even exposed to like that, celestial machine that blows up fucking
That's
islands?
what I'm saying. I feel like something.
And if they were so exposed to it, why are they keeping it a secret?
I feel like something took place that like we have not been told.
We don't know
Like
yet.
I feel like the story that they tell and that we're being told as the audience right now about them collaborating together to defeat Rocks, and like that's just how it went. Blah blah blah. Like I feel like there's definitely some extra parts that we're missing, and maybe some parts that are added to kind of change the narrative and story a little bit.
What's annoying, dude, is like it's just like it just puts up so many more questions for speculation as to what's happening. And I just can't get enough of it. Like I just get like it's annoying because it's like they give it. He teases with God Valley, and then it's like that's it. I'm gonna just keep the rest to myself here, and not tell you guys for now.
Assuming
I'm sure things will get more. I think he'll be able to eventually lay it out in front of us. But even then, towards the end of that episode, though, we saw So Kuma ended up eating that pawpaw fruit. Dude, Ivankov being as close as she was, that would have been crazy if she had that fruit of Kaido. Like that'd have been nuts. But even after that, though, it just showed Kuma right back in his hometown, just living a normal life. And then dude, like that last scene where it's like they're both just like happy every day, and then it shows like one day that what's her name, the pink hair girl that he's gonna marry.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
The hacker or whatever. She just starts crying because then she like everything just comes back to life again, and then he just starts crying, and then it's like, dude, it was just so sad.
So were they crying tears of joy?
Yeah, both tears of joy and like anger and like frustration.
Yeah, I was.
It was a whole combination of.
I felt very
feelings.
conflicted emotionally because I didn't know
100%.
whether or not to be like happy for them at first or sad. But I
because a lot of people died, and it's like it's just so bizarre to see that. But it was cool to have that episode be laid out the way it was. I'm excited to see, dude. I just want. What's gonna happen in Egghead? Because I'm told by my friend, he was like, Egghead, in his opinion, is the best arc.
Really?
That's what he told me. And he's read the manga, by the way.
Yeah.
So he was saying, like, no, Egghead's the best
arc. Is this
arc.
one of our friends, or this is a
different friend of mine. He was telling me this is like the best arc. And I was thinking to myself, you know what, man? Like, and he actually ended up switching back to anime only because the anime has been going crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of like character interactions, it's definitely, at least from like what we're seeing right now, like Luffy doing what he did with Kizaru. Like, that's something that's been building since Sabaody. Like,
yeah, it has
and
been
he
going.
was getting his get back for that, and he was kind of standing like his ground this time and stuff like that. And just seeing all of these different parties coming together, I could definitely see why story-wise, like, it would be one of the higher ones.
It's like an Avengers Endgame, bro.
It's like fight-wise, there have been some good fights so far, but I don't think it's been anything better than like Wano yet. I don't feel like.
I think they've been really entertaining.
Yeah, but like, see,
but also Wano, it's like you give us like a 50 episode fucking Kaido fight. Like, it's like, what do you?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is very like crazy, but like the magnitude of like those niggas pulling up on Kaido, that was just like some other shit.
But like, I also think it's gonna get to that point. I feel like we're having small moments.
We're still building. Like,
well, I think he said it was the best arc because of how much it revealed. That's why I'm like really anxious during this whole fucking thing. That's what I was gonna say. A lot of questions I feel like have been answered, like with the devil fruit thing, like when Vegapunk was having that epiphany with devil fruits, yeah.
Like him saying that he could, what was it? Like he could remake a certain type, but not like the other types. Like I think the zones, like you can't. I don't fucking remember, but like he had the whole devil fruit thing, and like obviously the elders and God Valley stuff that we're being introduced to. Like there's a lot of older things that are coming back up to light that we are getting some answers to. Not fully, but we're just seeing visuals and shit.
No, I believe it. Yeah. I mean, like I said, a lot of the stuff that's playing out right now. I mean, dude, we've definitely reached the pinnacle of One Piece for sure. I'm just hoping that.
You think that this is the peak, like peak of the whole series right now?
In terms of like us finding out information, I mean, we found out more about Robin. Mm-hmm. Her friend is still alive. That was a big deal. All the history is still kept alive. It's all in a hidden library that only Vegapunk knows about.
He like guards it, right?
Yeah, he guards it. But Vegapunk is also the only one that knows where it is, the location of it. He kept it a secret to his grave.
Vegapunk's probably gonna die.
And then it's like,
for sure.
And then imagine what's gonna happen now. It's like, how much more information can you give us? And also Saturn. What's gonna happen with Saturn? Is he? Like, what's going to happen? Like, it just seems like there's too much shit going on here for something not to be as, I don't know, man. It just feels like it's so overwhelming, but also so good. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm going back to, I'm just interested about this Rocks nigga, to be honest with you. It's just, like, I feel like he is one of the biggest mysteries in the whole series, and I just don't understand, like, why we haven't seen him and gotten more information on him.
I mean, we're going to see, bro. I think it just sucks, man, because it's actually, One Piece is so good now, because there's really no filler. So
Yeah, no,
every
so
every
good.
episode coming out,
It's-
you're gonna
it's
enjoy those
great.
22 minutes.
It's great. It's really good.
So regardless, like
really,
I think we have a lot to look forward to in these next few weeks for sure. Do you think Saturn's gonna die? I think he's gonna get away with murder here probably.
No, I don't think so.
Bonnie might. I don't think Bonnie will die, but there's a chance still, regardless.
Well, I think one, Luffy's gonna come back. I think two, as I just said, I think Vegapunk's gonna die. I think three, something has to happen with because Bonnie realistically has like one of the most broken fruits in the whole show.
She's got good fruit, yeah.
So it's just like,
But then, like, also with Kuma, remember Kuma's still mounting that mountain. Like, he's still trying to climb the mountain, like for the celestial, like to see the celestial dragons or something, right?
yeah, that nigga's fucked up, man.
Like, what is he doing?
I don't even
What's
know.
his objective? Like, we don't even know.
Yeah, he's just on autopilot.
also,
I don't know what he's doing.
The question was too, why did he let himself get operated on?
Didn't they explain that?
Did they? I think they showed a conversation he had with Vegapunk, but
It was for a reason.
But like, do we know the reason? I don't think we know the reason.
Maybe we don't. I don't know.
Also, why was his heart located at Vegapunk's laboratory and it's like in this liquid? Why is it there?
I don't know.
I don't think it was his heart. I just think it was like
I don't know.
something involving him.
But going back to like everything that's going on, we also have like niggas like Law and Kid who got dealt with, who I feel like are still alive.
They got destroyed, bro.
And like I feel like Law's fruit is going to be very pivotal in the later coming moments of the show, especially with that resurrection thing allegedly that there is.
We already spoke about Law, dude. I think Law. I mean, like I said, you already know my guess. I think he's gonna die. He's probably gonna resurrect somebody, probably Luffy. Because even didn't Kizaru say that like was it Kizaru or Saturn? Someone mentioned to Luffy, hey, like you're using a lot of that energy right now. Like so they mentioned there. I'm not sure if it was said. I forgot. I think someone said that he's really killing himself right now because of that fruit, or like he's dreading his life right now.
May have been an elder.
Yeah, it might have been the elder, but that's what I'm saying though. It's there's just so much shit to cover, dude. I don't even know
and I heard the next arc is very interesting too. Elbaf.
I mean, when we get there, we'll see what's up with that.
I heard people were saying that was solid right now, and that there are certain characters introduced that
have they mentioned like a new character joining, a new crew member?
I don't know about joining. I think people are speculating about this new character joining, but I don't think it's like a confirmed thing. But I think there's potential there. To me, it just wouldn't make sense considering the size of the person. But
gotcha. Okay, but again, that was a good episode. Those were good 2-3 episodes. Now we also want to cover something that we covered a few weeks back. Don't let me say it, bro.
I actually don't know where you're going.
Crunchyroll Anime Awards, bro.
Okay, I thought so. Okay,
like idiot dog. All right, guys. So now we're looking to assess the Anime Awards. We'll let y'all boys know this shit makes sense. Honestly, I heard already bad things about the Crunchyroll Awards this year, of what they did and who won. So what's the first one?
Best voice actor performance. That makes sense. I don't know if you've seen the dub.
Yes, I have seen it. Yep. This guy's he's getting pretty famous now. He's voicing a lot.
I've seen him on TikTok.
Best voice artist
was a good. I think Okudun could have won as well. Looking at the nominees, and Fearon too. Fearon was really.
Fearon was good. Yeah, Fearon was pretty good.
He makes sense. I understand why he won. So that's 1 for 1 so far.
Yeah, that's whatever. I don't really care too much about that. So let's move on to the next one. Let's skip all the Portuguese. Let's get to
Arabic, Japanese. Oh,
I don't know their names, bro. I really don't. But if I had to, wait! I did put this one.
Apothecary though.
Oh yeah, I'm actually happy Apothecary won this. So I guess Apothecary won the best voice artist performance for Japanese. That's good, bro. What the hell? Yeah. I agree with that. She had a really great voice.
Yeah. All right.
Very good range. But I think Danadon could have also won that too, of how their ranges in voices.
All right. Best ending sequence.
Best ending.
Solo Leveling. Let's see what was there. Kaiju should have won that one.
I think Kaiju should have won that one.
Kaiju should have won that one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Dude, like, okay, again,
Kaiju should have definitely.
I'm not tripping right now. Not the end of the world, but it's like, are these like, obviously the fans are picking this shit, right? But I'm hoping the rest of this is really good.
A lot of the people who vote, like, Solo Leveling is one of the 3 shows they've seen, so they're like, oh,
so like they have to vote. Yeah, they have to vote. Okay, next one. All right, best anime opening sequence. I'm not even mad.
Not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
Glad it wasn't Solo Leveling. To be honest.
Think it was either that one.
Solo Leveling was good, but I just didn't think that should have won that one.
It was either that one or
Mashal.
Those
were the 2 biggest ones of the year.
Actually, yeah, I think it makes sense why it won. I think it was a good opening among the nominees.
I'm happy with
So best anime opening sequence goes to Danadon.
We're like 3.5 for 4 right now.
Basically. Best anime score.
You know what? No, the thing is, Solo Leveling had really good OSTs.
It really did.
Like with that one girl, this is gonna come for me. Like that's a good song.
But against Yvonne Call,
they had really good songs.
but against Yvonne Call, who is like the GOAT for making amazing OSTs, you're talking about not only
Nigga,
Furin, but you're talking about like Violet Evergarden, like emotional OSTs.
Yeah, he's good. And Shiro Sagisu for Bleach. If you go to his Spotify,
Yo, I know who Shiro Sago. Trust me,
banger.
He's a banger.
Banger.
I actually, that's what I was saying for this one. I don't know if this is gonna good or not because I don't even know if Bleach had a good soundtrack.
Bleach had,
but if it had Shiro Sagasu, I would not be surprised if it was a banger
that.
soundtrack.
I think Bleach should have won that one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I understand the Solo Leveling one because there were very like unique and very emotional.
Why are you trying to justify it, bro? I'm not justifying it. This shit.
No, I mean, it
was good.
It was
like
good.
I'm not tripping.
I don't think it was Bleach Fear.
It was good, but like.
Where three?
I mean, against Yvonne Call for Furin and against Shiro Sagasu, which I haven't seen the show for that one for Bleach, but you have, and Shiro Sagasu does not miss.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Hiroyuki Sawano, like that, they're a good group. Like I listen to a lot of their OSTs, but again, it feels like this is like tainted a little bit.
Little biased.
It's a little biased.
Solo Leveling's good, but
whatever. Best anime score, Solo Leveling.
It's 3 for 5 right now.
Next one. Best anime song.
I mean, I see it.
Yeah,
4 for 6. I understand that.
I'm not tripping about that. Don wins best anime song.
Must protect.
Characters of all time.
I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, I saw that coming too.
So
I'm not mad about this.
Mad about it.
It's literally like an adorable kid. Like I mean,
5 for 7.
Okay, I understand that.
Best supporting character,
Fern. Okay,
good choice.
Fern got some fucking love out here, bro.
I think I said Fern.
Yeah, you mentioned Fern. You mentioned Fern. I
I
was
would've
against
picked
Fern.
Fern.
I was saying, well, I was against Fern, but I think I chose like someone else that can compete. Maybe like Jinshi. No, not even Jinshi can compete. I think Fern really is the best.
I agree. So we got a solid
best supporting character, Fern.
Best
main character.
I mean, I get it with how much he was being talked about, for sure. Like, I get it, but I would have preferred, like, a Furin.
No, I don't get it.
I definitely get it.
Like, I don't. Are people this, like, infatuated with this fucking kid? There's no way.
That nigga was cold.
Sung Jin-woo. I mean, like, no, I understand why. Like, I'm not saying he was a bad character. I'm not saying that.
He's the ore farming assassin.
But who was he up against, bro? I mean, it's like
I feel like
the man was quiet for half the season.
I feel like
he was just because that's all he needed to do. We just keep quiet, handle the situation, say 2-3 words.
That was
on
tough.
the next one.
I mean, you can't. I don't know, man.
Like, he's a badass, but at the same time, it's like
I feel like his only real comp was Okudun and Furin, personally.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was gonna say his only real comp was Okudun and Furin.
He had some popularity to him, but I think Sung just was taking it like this year, honestly.
Yeah, I think we just.
I think I would have preferred Furin,
but
I completely understand why Sung won that one.
I mean, both characters are not bad, but like Furin, I don't know. I mean, it's shit, bro. I don't fucking know anymore.
And also, like with him getting the thing for his mother and stuff like that, and that coming to a
cool.
close, I could see fine. He deserves it. Whatever.
I'm not tripping. Whatever the fuck. Oh, best slice of life, and I was right about this one.
Were you?
Yes,
you
bro. That's what I was saying. Yeah,
you did say.
Telling you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Too many losing heroines. I knew this was gonna win. What a banger! Again, if you haven't seen this slice of life show for this year, you gotta watch it, bro. Too many losing heroines was by far the best one. I'm happy for that one. Fuck it.
Best drama.
Best drama. Furin, bro.
I mean, Pluto was there. Pluto would have been cool to see, but I'm glad it was Furin.
Oh yeah, we said Pluto a close second. I think Pluto was a really good one.
Furin.
I think Apothecary Diaries was also good drama as well. I mean, I would have been fine with like 3 of these people winning. Yeah, I'm not even tripping about this one, bro. So Furin win, that's great. Best Isekai. Yeah, we said ReZero, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I mean, the other ones were good.
ReZero had been out of the game for a minute, so I mean, that was bound to win.
Yeah, Jobless wasn't going to win because people just don't want to see my dog win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but also, this was like one of the best seasons I heard.
Yeah, I still need to catch up.
I have to catch up on this season. I haven't caught up yet, but yeah. So Best Isekai, that goes to ReZero. What the fuck? Best action anime.
I mean, that's a crazy lineup of nominees, though. But
best action anime
that should have been Bleach, man.
That's what I was. So for this one, I was saying like I wouldn't be able to say I think Bleach would be the only one I could see contest. I haven't seen it.
I'm a bit more happy it's Soul Leveling than Demon Slayer, though. I'm glad the Demon Slayer.
No, it wouldn't be Demon Slayer.
I'm
God
glad,
forbid
I'm
it was
glad
Demon
the Demon
Slayer.
Slayer like little hype kind of
Disappeared.
didn't carry it to
Because
best action,
ass.
and because it didn't have that much action that season.
Yeah, it's literally ass.
Yeah, I don't think it's ass, but
Well, it really was. I mean, it's not. I mean, like I said, it's all really is animation and action
should have been
sequences.
Bleach, man.
So Demon Slayer did not
I
win
get
that
the Soul Leveling shit, but
So Bleach won. So not Bleach. Soul Leveling won best action anime, best comedy anime. Mash.
I didn't see Mesh.
That's whatever. I mean, I don't really care too much about this. I think Konosuba was good too.
Delicious was getting a lot of popularity, though. I thought that would have won.
Delicious also got a lot of popularity as well. I really don't care about who won this one, but I mean, Mashal, I heard good things about it, so fuck it. Best comedy, best romance. I think for this one, I also put
Heroines or whatever.
I didn't think Blue Box was gonna win. The fuck?
I've been seeing it on the front page.
Maybe because it's a hype thing. It's like a hype thing. I don't know. I mean, it's also not even a bad show. So I mean, I understand if people chose Blue Box. So I'm not mad about that. Best romance.
Best background art.
Best background art. We chose this one. We said Fury.
Yeah, should have won. Should have won.
And it
I
did
think
win.
I was saying Dan could win from what I've seen, but
We really broke it down though. We sat here for a while. I think.
Fearing just makes sense.
Yeah, Fury makes sense because
and
they
I'm
traveled, went to different areas.
I'm thinking of one scene specifically, like when they were sitting eating the pastries with the sunset. I don't know if you remember
Yes,
what I'm
I remember
talking
that.
about.
Yes.
That was like a beautiful scene.
That was a good scene.
Yeah.
So best background art goes to Furin. Oh, best
We're on a little
director.
streak.
I also agree with this one because
I
who
do
were the
agree.
other contesters? Demon Slayer was whatever. Don had good direction, but
Yeah,
the
good
manga
direction.
was really
One
pretty
Piece
much
fan
already
letter
there.
had great direction too.
Which one?
Fan letter.
Oh yeah, I think we said Fan Letter was really good too. Apothecary has good direction. I mean, yeah, but I think Furin had the best direction.
Yeah.
It just everything flowed so well. It was a very good show. So I'm glad that won best director. Best character design.
I think I said Dan.
Yeah, I'm not mad about that. It had really unique character designs.
I think that makes perfect sense.
It does.
And
I'm
has
not
the
mad.
most diverse cast.
I'm really not mad about that at all.
Oh no.
Next one. What?
Oh no.
Best animation? Demon Slayer? Are they only counting the last episode?
They must be.
One episode took over the whole season? Oh my god, this is crazy. No, this is literally.
Well, no, I mean, it definitely did have good animation, and that's what
I'm sweating. I'm literally sweating at this shit.
that's
Like,
it.
what's happening?
I mean, that's just what you expect from the show. Like, you expect solid animation, which it did have. I'm not saying it didn't, but like, there were a lot more shows that deserved this over Demon
Dude, I'm
Slayer. I
disgusted.
think that was just like that Demon Slayer bias coming in, where it's like niggas are just like, oh, it's Demon Slayer, so it's gonna be best animation by default because it's Ufotable, and Ufotable does everything perfect. When I personally don't think that's the case.
case at all,
I think
yeah.
Dan definitely had the most original like aesthetic to it, and it's something that like I've never seen.
I think we said Dan. It was either Dan or Furin for
I think
us.
I was saying Dan or Fearin, and then Fearin just had like great.
It was consistent.
Just had a great setting. Yeah, it was very consistent with the colors.
And it had a lot of
It was
there
very
was so many
vibrant.
scenes where it showed background. That's what we said. It had a really great background because like there was like those meadows of flowers. All the flowers were detailed. You had these action sequences that were good at first, and they kept getting better.
And I'd argue that Dan's animation is harder to do than Demon Slayer's. I think niggas just see sharp, crisp like line work, like Ufotable shit, and just like
To be like, this is like the top 10 animation.
Assume it's like the best, but like Dan got like messy with it, and I feel like that's like harder to do.
I think animation.
Personally,
I think animation as a whole is like the style of animation they went about it. I think POVs is also part of animation too, because it's like that. Like all that combined, I just did not see Demon Slayer winning.
There were just many different shots Dan was taking. Like as you said, like
Yeah,
you saw a lot of POVs and like
POVs.
different like angles. Like Demon Slayer is a very straightforward like linear.
It's like I've seen Fate, so I've seen a lot of
Animation,
Demon Slayer
yeah.
already.
Like they aren't
Because
doing
they have very
anything.
similar sequences.
They aren't doing anything new with Demon Slayer. It's just very crisp and nice and vibrant. I feel
agree.
like, but with Dan, I feel like they were doing a lot of newer shit that I've never seen.
Best.
I mean, I'm looking at the nominees. I haven't seen them, but I do know Ninja Kamui did have that fall off. But it did also have the popularity too at the beginning.
Best original anime. I could have sworn I said this shit is not even close to number one. Ninja Kamui.
Oh, Jamie's been talking about Metallic Rouge. He's been liking that one, I think.
Like utterly, I'm completely shocked at what I'm witnessing right now. But at the same, I haven't seen the other shows though. Like I haven't seen the other ones. But I never would have got. I never would have thought that Ninja Karma would have won this.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm looking at the other shows, they're very girly, very like they look like slice of lives. Maybe that's why people chose.
I just feel like Ninja Kamui had the popularity. Like it was big. It was big those first couple episodes. Like I saw.
Dude, it had such a good concept. It had such a good concept that it just fell off its ass. Okay, I am being surprised, bro. Like I'm being surprised right now. Best, I guess the next one, best new anime.
This could have went to anyone. I think this one.
Is this new? This is the second season. Did they have both seasons in 1 year?
Yeah, kinda.
Oh my, they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they came out pretty quickly.
But you're taking this over Fearin'?
I'm not. I'm picking Fearin' personally, but I feel like this one was dead ass just a popularity contest. Like this.
So Leveling winning best anime series. I mean, new anime series is like.
I mean, it is new, and it is like the most popular. So I mean, it's like. It just makes sense.
We just can't beat these fandoms, bro. We can't.
It makes sense.
Even the show's literally better in many different ways. We just
I feel like it should have been Dan to Dan or Fearin', but
I feel like you need a really strong story.
No.
Oh my. All right, I'm sorry, guys, for the silence. Best continuing anime series.
We know whose category that is every year. Like that's One Piece. Like that's that's like reserved for One Piece. Like One Piece doesn't really get the luxury of being in the anime of the year talks because it's like that continuing series. So like this is the One Piece category. Like it just has to be.
Best continuing anime series. Demon Slayer. What type of Crunchyroll has lost their damn mind.
It's not Crunchyroll.
But how do you as a company look at this?
It's not me. I didn't vote for that shit. But that's the populace.
But how are there not any like proctors that sit here and look at this and be like, nah, these guys are fucking idiots.
I mean, I'm sure some of them do, but then that would be tampering. So they just got to let it be how it is.
Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer won best continuing anime. Best.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm putting 3 other nominees over that shit. I'm putting One Piece, Bleach, and My Hero over.
And My Hero. Wow, that's crazy, bro. Honestly, on everything, I think we've lost hope in the anime community.
That's kind of trifling.
This is disrespect on a different level. How does Demon Slayer do this? How do they get away with this?
And again, it's like, it's not like it is bad. Because it really isn't.
It's not bad,
and
but
especially
it's not close to these guys.
Yeah, especially with the Infinity Castle buildup, it's not bad. But like, I don't even know Demon Slayer fans were still like representing their show this hard like that. Like I thought they would have moved on to Soul Leveling, to be honest, and just like I don't know, man.
But like the disrespect towards One Piece, and people
a lot of niggas do hate on One Piece though.
But here's the thing though, people are gonna hate on One Piece. I don't care, bro. Like it doesn't matter what you say. Numbers don't lie. Influence doesn't lie. Impact doesn't lie. One Piece has been around longer than you've been born, buddy. So why is it that this is not the best continuing series?
I don't know. People just aren't tapped in.
No, but you know what this might be too? Maybe this is like the younger generation. Maybe this is like the younger folks that are growing up with Demon Slayer, being like, "This is the greatest piece of artwork I've ever seen in my entire life."
They have a perspective that we don't.
They're sitting here saying, "I bought every single Demon Slayer game because it's literally a 10 out of 10 game." These are the dudes saying this right now.
Like this is some of their like Naruto's, like some of the younger people, like this is their Naruto.
We had Naruto, but we're also not dumb enough to be like Naruto's. It's good, phenomenal, great show.
Yeah, I love me some Naruto.
100%, but it will not win in a lot of these categories. It just wouldn't. I'm disgusted. Okay, anyways, let's skip this.
Makes sense. Did I want it? No.
Anime.
Did I?
Solo Leveling winning Anime of the Year.
You're acting like that's like a surprise.
Dude, it was a good year. We had good contesters.
Yeah, but this is also taking seasons 1 and 2 of Solo Leveling into account, which is like, that's a lot of content. And it's like, Kaiju wasn't winning that.
No.
Apothecary, as good as it was
not going to win that.
Was not winning that.
Delicious Legend was not going to win that. It was either
because I think it was Netflix specific, and that was a little bit more niche, I feel like.
It was either Don or Fear that would
it's like Dan had controversy. Like there were niggas not watching it because of that first scene. And then so it was basically up to Soul Leveling and Fearing. And it's like I feel like if you are not even an anime watcher, you heard of Soul Leveling. Fearing, you have to kind of be in the mix for.
And I agree with you.
You know,
Like I'm mad, but at the same time too is like, who are these people voting? Like, who are the people voting? Right? I agree with you. Furin's one of those things where it's maybe like you have to already be deep into anime a little
not
bit.
even deep, just like,
Not like
on
too
the
deep, but like-
Crunchyroll homepage.
But you can't be
like,
service level. Like I think service
Yeah.
level is like soul leveling. If you're service level
Yeah, like
and you're a
soul
new kid
leveling-
getting into anime,
yeah, Soul Leveling's like JJK popularity to where like if you don't even know or watch anime, like
You've seen
you've
TikToks
heard
of
about
it.
it, you've seen TikToks,
Yes.
you've seen a lot
Furin
of
just
shit
doesn't
on
have that motion. But that doesn't mean Furin is out of the fucking pocket of this one. I mean, honestly, I mean we said this though.
Like,
We
I would
literally said it.
compare Fearin to like the year when Vinland was nominated, and I think it was up against Attack on Titan. Everyone knows
Oh, yeah.
Attack on Titan, and I think
Yeah, there was no
Vinland
shot.
I think Vinland that season had the better show, but it's like you have to kind of be in it to like
Yeah, you can't.
actually take the time to watch Vinland.
Like soul leveling, I could skip past the first few episodes, just see him find the next boss, and be like, "Oh, this is a fucking phenomenal show."
Yeah, it's a very
kid that just gets
it's
started
a
into
very
anime.
easy show to digest,
To digest.
and has great animation, great
simple as just
OST,
dungeon hunting.
main characters,
adventure.
cool ass dude. So it's just, I mean,
I'm not tripping, bro. I'm not. I mean,
I would have preferred other things, but I get it, and I'm not shocked.
we
by
just
it.
saw it coming. Like, as much as I want to hate on this shit, I understand the perspective of people, and also the fandoms are just too big sometimes. Like, it's just like if you market this enough, it's gonna win just based on numbers,
Mm-hmm.
but on just numbers of popularity of like, oh, this is a show that everyone's watching, even
the
if you're
crazy-
not even an
yeah,
avid watcher.
The crazy thing about it is, I saw that they were like hesitating to put out a season 3 for it, for Soul Leveling. Like it may or may not happen, even with the popularity, which is like kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, I don't see them ending the series. There's no way they continue this shit to the end. I just don't see that happening. Because I hear a lot of people said it falls off in the manhwa, and it just kind of just gets repetitive after a while. So maybe they'll stop continuing it. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. But am I disappointed overall? A little bit. Do I think it could have been better? Absolutely.
I don't think I'm disappointed. I think I'm neutral. I think
not
there were some shockers. I think there were some.
I'm disappointed, but
knockers.
I understand why this anime won over the others.
Yeah.
But I'm still disappointed. Like the OST one got me. I won't lie to you. Like Soul Leveling had good OSTs, man. But like, are you really forgetting the other OGs?
Nah, the main thing that got me was the continuing series. I don't think that should have been
that
close to
shook my-
Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer shouldn't even been nominated realistically. I
Demon-
mean, I get it, but again, it's like that shouldn't have won.
The best continuing series, Demon Slayer. Are you kidding, bro?
I just wish they released the numbers for these, like to see the amount of people that voted for each.
See who was close or not.
Yeah.
They should have like an actual award ceremony. Like, but it's hard though. Like, 'cause no matter what, if you have critics try to come together and form like a group to like evaluate animes, I understand like there might be immense bias. But I think there's also people that try to really be as objective as possible and look at it in terms of, okay, well, let's look at the character development. Let's look at the music. It's like,
Yeah, I
because I
feel
feel
like-
like anime of the year is in totality all the aspects of what makes a show good.
Yeah, and I feel like I do at least me personally, I try to do my best to see it that way.
Yeah,
Like,
well, you
with
have to see
with
it that
all
way.
the elements taken into account, as well as like how popular it is outside of its actual like. Because there have been some shows that have very basic stories, aka Demon Slayer, but obviously it has that popularity, and just because it's an easy to interpret show, it's like it's gonna technically be the better show than like something deeper like a Fearin.
If we have, okay, so picture like this, right? If we have, so you have like a show, right? The only reason, because we definitely spoke about this when we were figuring out who was going to win back then, a few weeks ago. If you look at the anime as a whole, they were up against Fearin, and I think we came to Fearin as our anime of the year. Pretty sure. Fairly certain.
Based off of all of the
So the key elements, right?
factors
So
and elements,
we look
yeah.
at like story, Fearin takes the cake. Soul Leveling's not a bad story, but it's not like
It's very
basic,
surface level, yeah.
surface level.
Yeah.
But it's not complicated or anything like that. Not that it has to be complicated to be good, but when you have multiple layers to a story, it just adds into how interesting it can be. So Furin took that. Characters. Do I give a fuck about the characters in Soul Leveling? Not really. Only the main guy
nah.
and maybe one or two other characters that I like, but they don't really give them enough screen time to make me give a fuck about them. And they're pretty much just serving as like side characters because let's be realistic here. This guy doesn't need nobody. Like it's just him versus the world.
Yeah, no, I think I said this, like the only character that I'd be concerned about if they were to like die would be like Cha or
Yeah, maybe. Like I would
or
probably
maybe
feel
like
a
the
little bit.
chairman,
The chairman, which they don't even talk about the chairman too much.
or like his sister and mom.
yeah, or sister
Like
mom.
that's
Yeah,
I
sister
think
mom.
that's I think that's about it. Like
that's
there's
pretty
not
much it.
there's not really anyone
So
else.
character
that's, like,
development, I think, goes to Furin. Also, when I say character development, not just characters around him, but also himself. I think Furin just had better development, honestly. Or I would say they're almost on par, maybe. Like, because he had good early development, and then now he's at a point where
I
he
think
just
Fi-
fucking kills shit and gets
I think
better.
Fearon takes cake for development because they go back and forth between her past group
Her
and
past,
her current group,
her
and then-
learning from her, like her
yeah,
trying
and
to become more in the
mindset-
present.
her mindset switch and shit
Yeah,
like that.
her trying to live in the present as opposed to the all that stuff. So she takes the cake. The music, we already spoke about the music. I think the OSTs were great in both.
Yeah,
I like
mean, that
Yvonne
was-
Call more. I'm a bit biased there, but I would say they can both be arguably good.
Yeah.
Like, I would say they probably tied in that one. And then the action? Maybe I think Solo Leveling would probably just take it
Solo
by
Leveling
an
would
extra
take the action
few
just
points.
because there's more of it.
Yeah, just more of it.
I
But the
feel-
action sequences we've seen from Furin
Yeah, I
have
was
been
gonna say,
impactful and crazy
If
too.
both were as consistent, I think it'd be neck and neck.
It'd be neck and
Yeah.
neck. So I think that would take it. So it would take that. What was the last thing here? We had story, we had character development, we had
Probably just like animation or art style or something
animation
like
art
that.
style.
Yeah,
They were both really good, but I preferred Furin's art style more than
yeah. Fearon just has a better world.
I think it
to
has a
look at.
better. Furin to me is like a slice of life too, but it feels like the overall art style is very like what's the word here? It's very like it blends well for the
Mm-hmm.
action and the slice of life part versus Sunwoo, versus Solo Leveling, where I feel like the animation's sick for the action sequences, but it's very basic and normal
But
for
it's
the normal
also not a
sequences.
consistent setting with Soul Leveling since they're always in a new dungeon.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's just like the main area where everyone chills is just like a normal ass city.
I know, but what I'm saying is that the main focus of the show and for animation is just the action sequences. And then I think when it jumps back to the normal animation
Yeah.
for the normal
very
interactions,
basic.
it's very basic. It's not really like anything to like gawk at.
Yeah.
And so it's like I would probably vote Furin for that one. So overall, I think we came out to be basically Furin being anime of the year. Maybe you're the type of guy out there that likes Solo Leveling. You said this, they deserve all the rewards. Fuck it, whatever, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna be tripping because it wasn't a bad show either
Yeah, it's
way.
like you can't deny the numbers.
You
like
can't
the
deny numbers
were
either.
there. And
But
it's-
yeah, and it's
and
like
it's just like even like everyone has seen the show. Like everyone, even if they don't believe it's anime of the year, like everyone has watched Solo Leveling to some capacity. I feel like if you're in the space, so I feel like the numbers were there regardless, in terms of popularity. So I don't know. I think it makes sense to me why it won.
do you have anything left to say?
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Say it.
I was just gonna quote Sinners, bro. I think that's it. I was just no.
All right, bro. All right, bro. Well, we appreciate you guys listening here.
Lick this pussy, preacher boy.
Oh, let's calm down. But anyways, we appreciate y'all boys listening, and of course, we'll catch you in the next one.
All right, peace out, Leonard.